And we're live. Hi everybody, welcome to the Proper Coils channel. This is N.Devine, one of the most well-known builders in the world, and probably he's probably best known for his tutorials and teaching people how to build every coil you can think of. For the guys coming over from America, that's N.Devine followers. My name's John. I run www.propercoils.com. I sell coils online and I build coils. And today I'm hoping to pick Nick's brain about staggered builds. It's probably my weakest area. I like my aliens and I do aliens no problem. But staggered is probably something I'm weaker at. So I'm hoping Nick is gonna be able to show me the best way or maybe the most efficient way to do it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, because you're not pulling off an extra cord then. Yeah. 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 Let's get this. Yeah. Desktop audio. No sound, no? Shit. Turn desktop audio on. Mic audio, desktop audio. Damn. I have desktop audio on. Hold on. Why is that? No, there's nothing coming through that. Why is that? Okay. Yeah, okay. No problem. Nick's gonna leave and come back. Can hear you fine, but his Nick is muted. Seems like you can't hear him. Weird. Go into settings and choose your earphones on the list. Right, okay, maybe that's what it is. Settings. No, it's the desktop. It's a setting I have wrong. It's a OBS settings, audio. What should I have in the top? Yeah. 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 I've desktop audio on, but there's nothing coming up in the bar. One sec. Audio. Speakers. No. Nothing. No. Diam. Headset. Apply. No. Fuck.
You think?
Tech support silent movie.
I'm gonna try.
See what you have for yours, yeah. Maybe.
Let me see if my headphones are messing it up.
No, I think it's my end. I think I had the setting wrong, to be honest with you. Settings, audio, your headphones. Settings, audio, your headphones. Settings, audio.
They hear me now. They hear me.
Do they, yeah?
They got it.
Got it. Lovely.
There you go. All right. So sorry. So basically, I'm gonna just start from what John asked. Best way to go about the staggers, especially if you're a business. At the end of the day, a business, you want to save money. You don't want to be throwing away wire. As much wire as you don't throw away, the more money you save, more money you make. So I said that loop method would probably be best, rather than like what I just did on my show. I did a force fuse. You don't really want to be wasting all that wire.
Yeah, you're pulling off a core and wasting it.
Yeah. So a loop method would be best. The best loop method that I have found works for me is that video that I have, the bestest loop method. I could zoom in and show you now though what that is. Before I do that, a couple of things about the staggers that I really think people need to know is, once you like, this wire right now is staggered. It's like perfect right now. I have this one that I just did. Let me see if I can show it to you real quick. It's spaced 38/27, and to my standards, it is perfect. All right. So the way I did it, these spaces won't really move even if I touch them. But with a loop method, they will move. The loop method that I use, they will move. So one of the biggest tips is, once you get this spacing, do not touch the middle. Like, I will only touch the ends where there is no space wire. I do not want to touch it. You want to not mess with these spaces as much as possible. If you could literally not touch them, then you really want to try not touching them. Cutting them even will make the spacing mess up. So even cutting them is a little tricky. But I guess if you did longer amounts and you cut them, you would be fine.
Would you do 2 separate runs then, or 3 separate runs?
I would. I'd rather do two 2-footer. If I'm doing just a stagger fuse Clapton 2 cores, I'd rather do two 2-footers.
Yeah. And
just fuse them all together all at once, rather than doing a 4-foot and cutting it in half. And I really don't go for the folding in half either. I think that's actually worse than cutting it. I don't like to fold them. I like to have one wire for this. Make another one, then just make a 2-foot long one and get as many coils out of it as you can.
If you're going to fold it, you're probably going to be touching it a lot. Like, you're going to be touching it and moving it in.
Yeah, and it is like a spring over a rod. It slides up and down. This thing does move. If I went like this, I can mess it up by just pinching it and going like this. It will, and just one mess up will make this whole thing run off. So you really want no mistakes in your wires to begin with. If you have no mistakes, and you keep them separated and everything, 2-core stagger fuse Claptons could be super easy, super. Even if you watch the Kent and Grim Green show, when he was doing the force fusing like I just did in the show, you could literally force fuse 2 together. You could do a tight Clapton on this, do another one with a tight Clapton, and as long as they're loose meaning going up, and you could actually force fuse a stagger fuse Clapton almost perfectly, pretty much perfect. So that's another option as well, is just Claptoning halfway up this, Claptoning halfway up another, putting them together and forcing it through. There is mistakes that could happen in that one though, so I'd probably rather just do a loop method and be careful with your wires.
Yeah.
When you're doing aliens, you're probably prepping a whole lot. You're cutting a whole bunch of whatever you do, like 4-foot strands or whatever, and you're able to decore.
I do like
Yeah.
32-inch D cores, and I do 26 foot. I stretch the D core to 26 foot. And that's that'll get me like 5 to 6 aliens per run. Yeah.
And I'm sure, like, you keep them. I'm sure it's nice and neat when you do it. Like, you have your decors in a pile, you have your strands in a pile. But with a decor, you could really, I mean, if you wanted to just throw it down on the ground and pick it up when you need it, you'd be fine. Nothing's going to mess up. But with these, like, I wouldn't suggest making like 30 of these and putting them in a pile because they will start grabbing on each other and stuff. So I would, keep them separate. Make sure that there's not too much that could happen. So I'm going to take this one off and I'll put another one on. How do you usually stagger?
The loop method. The loop method.
The loop? Okay. Is it the same one as that tutorial one? Yeah.
From your video about 11 months ago?
Yeah. Do you feel like the spacing's going all right, but the fusing isn't? Or do you think the spacing's bad from the beginning?
The spacing looks okay. To me, it looks fine. I don't know if sometimes I'm doing, maybe I'm loosening it too much, or
maybe
I think it's something simple that I'll probably, if just say I do 3 runs, I'll get one perfect run the whole way. Two of the next one I'll get like half, and then maybe another one it'll be all janky, and it's not consistent as consistent as my other builds. Hence they're not on the website. So I'd like to be more consistent with them, you know.
Yeah. So what you were telling me live is that, like, the aliens go really well for you.
Oh, I can do aliens in my sleep. There's no problem with aliens. Yeah.
So this might also be your problem. Because aliens, and it's a different angle, and you're so used to this alien angle, you're so used to it that sometimes you might be jumping ahead with the stagger. A stagger alien has to be a little more straight than an alien. You almost hardly lead it. You're just right underneath of it the whole time. And that's another thing I was saying on the show, that when staggering was very hard for me, and something that changed like within a day of this person telling me this. It really changed the way my staggers were being successful. They were being more successful when this guy told me this. And I showed this on the show, and I didn't really show it right, actually. So he told me to look above the wire, have my head looking straight down, and have the spool going straight up. Now, he did also say, and I forgot completely about this, that this spool would not be close to this. Just like an alien, you want to hold it far away so you have time to move. So it's like lower than my knees right now. Usually I'll be holding it, but it's right below, and I go like this. This is hard for somebody that has a table like mine, because the table just will not really let me do that. So I end up going on an angle anyway. But if you come from the bottom and look from the top, you see so much. You see exactly what's going on. You see exactly where that wire is coming up to the core. So that's also a big tip that I've got, that really changed the way I did staggers. And I really forget his name. I don't want to say it was Build Angry, but it was a name like that. It was Build and something, and he was on build mode. I can't think of his damn name.
How much pressure do you put on when you're? Is it light? Is it?
It's light pressure.
Light pressure.
Yeah. It's not a lot of pressure at all.
Yeah.
Actually,
because I was trying, like, when I was messing up, I was like, right, I'm going to try one run, and I'll hold it really light, then I'll do another run, and I'll hold it really tight, and just like sort of experiment and see what works and what doesn't work. And the light definitely, I think, worked better. I think.
Yeah, I think so too. There's no reason you're really just guiding it into the space. 2 cores are fairly easy. When you get to 3, like, your spacing has to be like absolutely perfect.
I've done really mess around. If you go onto my Instagram, I've done 3 cores, I've done 2 cores, I've done like 11 wrap. I done a custom build for someone's Valhalla, and it was 11 wraps, 4 mil, 2 cores, but that was just one of those days where it was going perfect, you know. And then the 3 core took me about probably a good 4 or 5 runs to get like perfect. Yeah. But it's not consistent enough. It's not, for me, it's not consistent enough, because I'm used to getting it right most of the time. Yeah. You know?
And sometimes it just comes down to just practicing it more and getting the feeling for it. I don't also like to do long 3-cores. Like long 3-cores are hard for me. Like if somebody orders 3-core stagger fuse Claptons, maybe I'll do like a 3-coil run. So like a 12-inch run. I can't do a long one of that. I feel like I'm gonna make more mistakes if I try to do that rather than just doing just like one set at a time. I feel like I'm more successful that way than trying to do a long run, because there's a lot of things that could happen in this. A whole lot of mistakes can happen.
Every run I try is about 30 inches.
Yeah.
For everything, it's like
So for 2-core, I think that's the way to go. 3-core, I've seen people do it. There's people that can do it. I'm sure if you practice enough, you could do it. I just don't. Plus, I don't have to make that many. I just don't sell coils like that. So
did you ever sell coils?
Make that many. I have sold coils, and I'm thinking about putting some more. I'm selling coils now. I mean, I've got customers now I'm filling orders for, but those are more, people that have bought them before. They're just used to buying them from me. They don't really buy them from any other coil builder, so I just do it just because. Plus, I mean, extra money is awesome. So
true that.
Right now, it's not like my thing that I want to do is sit there and make coils and sell them. Plus, there's a lot of people out there that's their actual, I'd rather give the business to people that, actually want to do that. I have a daytime job, so I'm good. So yeah, let me cut this up. Let's get to the meat and potatoes.
Right, so what are we going to do? 2-core, yeah?
Yeah, let's do 2-core. So if you did 2-core, I guess you would probably do, I guess that's what they're looking for, what kind of ohms. I think I'm just going to set up 26 so you can see it.
Can I
don't know what cores.
Just before we start, I need to apologize to Twisted Masses because I haven't got any 26 gauge Nichrome.
Well, what do you got?
Because he's in the chat.
I know.
So I have to use kidney puncher.
Yeah.
But I'll use some Twisted Masses for the wrap.
I mean, you don't have any because you use it all first, right?
It's too good, and I keep using it all. That's it.
I hear you.
I just want to say hello to Mick in the chat as well. Mick's, I know Mick sent you a message last week without telling me he sent you a message. I didn't know anything about that, by the way. It's like, that's why you're here, I think. Do you want to do a long run, or do you want to do a long run then if we're doing 2-core? Yeah.
Yeah, we could do it. Yeah. If you haven't said it, I'll do a long one too. I think I actually got like 30-inch right here actually.
Great.
I have to find the 26.
Another thing I should have said was as well. I used the same drill as M-Torque.
So you got a fast boy.
Yeah,
you got a fast one.
The Fordham thing, and I think that makes it a bit harder as well.
100%.
Because I can't control. I can't, like, if I miss a gap, I can't go back 2 gaps and then start again. I'll probably go back 10 gaps instead and have to start again.
Okay, that
makes a big difference, definitely.
It does. Yeah.
I think that's why it's been so hard for me. I think mainly because of this. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Do you have another regular drill?
I have a DeWalt. Yeah.
No, you could use that for the 2-core. For 3-core. I would definitely say no. But for the 2-core, yeah. I would use it for the 2-core. I think you'll be all right.
See, I use the Fordham because it's fast and I can obviously bang out aliens or whatever quick,
And I'm at you're probably way better with the speed than I don't know this thing yet. How quick it goes, I'm not up to speed with it yet. If you've done a bunch of aliens, you're probably really good with the speed.
Yeah, I'm pretty good with this. I can sort of I can temper it as a little bit, but
Yeah.
the changes in speed are a lot bigger. Than like a hand drill. Like a hand drill, you can literally turn the chuck like a quarter if you want it. But if you try and turn this thing a quarter, it'll like spin like 5 times. You know?
Yeah.
So it's like to make those minor corrections is really tough, you know.
Yeah. But 2-core, I think you will be okay. I would definitely try to be on the slower side of that drill if you can.
Say that again, Nick.
I would try to be on the slower side with the 2-core. I think the 2-core you'll be fine, but definitely I would keep the speed down a little bit on it.
See, with this drill, there's no dial. It's just your foot.
At all.
It's your foot. It's your foot pedal. That's it. So it's very hard to do minute changes, you know.
But the more you press down, the faster it goes.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I didn't know that's how they work.
Yeah.
That's cool. Huh. I thought it was just like a switch, like what I got the remote. Like it'll just like whatever it's on, it'll go on or off. But you could actually control the speed with your foot.
Yeah.
It's hard to do, but you could do that. That's okay. That's pretty cool.
My dual drill does 2,500 revolutions at top speed, and then this one does 18,500.
Wow!
So it's like 6 times. But you could never. I've never ran at full speed because it'll just tear the wire off.
Yeah, I think this one goes 5,000, and I can't go up to 5,000.
Yeah.
Somebody stole my twisted message wire too. Did they? Oh, there it is.
It wasn't me. I've none.
Boom. Yeah, there's an alien speed contest Xeon has going on, and I'll be judging it. I'll try to get an entry in with the fast drill, guys. It is not going to be pretty. I think my fastest alien's around 5 minutes and 4 seconds or something like that.
From scratch?
Yeah, with just but I did use 2 drills. I used a fast drill to do the D-core, and then I would throw that fast drill to the side, pick up my DeWalt to do it a little slower for the alien. So it was like I used 2 drills to do it, one fast, one slow, but that's as quick.
If you can hear my chair, I just want to apologize because I have the squeakiest chair.
Hey, I apologize for my air conditioning, man.
Okay.
They come here for the noise. It's all right. All right, 26 gauge, around 30 inches. Get this on the swivel good, just like you would any core. Make sure both ends. And is that like a nail gun? Like a nail polish gun or something? Like a...
Yeah, I think this here.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I think jewelers use it to polish jewelry and stuff.
Oh, so it's like a Dremel, okay.
Yeah.
So you could center your wire pretty damn good, right?
Oh yeah. It's really good for that because the chuck size is like 5 times smaller than a normal chuck.
Yeah.
So you don't get a lot of vibration or, you know.
Everything. It's not at all. I really need to make this. I have to make a platform for this drill I got here, like so that it's super sturdy on my desk. Now, I think the reason why it's not is because of video games. If I didn't play video games, I could just use this desk for coil building. I don't know if it's time to get a new desk, so I have 2 desks.
How many times do you wrap? So you wrap in front of it, obviously, and then you wrap 3 times behind?
I do, yes.
Yeah.
1 in front and 3 behind.
3
You
behind.
got to make sure that it's going the same way as whatever your drill's
Yeah.
going to go. Yeah, I could actually I have like a 7-minute video on this. It's one of my favorite videos that I made, is that 7-minute video.
I watched that today just to refresh my memory.
Yeah, that's like it's one of the videos that I was actually pleased with pretty much all the way through. And that doesn't happen often when you're making videos. Like the vision that you have that you could actually get out of that. But I also use like huge wires for that. Like what you're seeing in that camera is like 30 gauge. It looks like it's like 36, but it's like 30 gauge wire I use in that video just so I can get it on camera really good.
And it was colored as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, I burnt the one stainless steel so you can see the actual loop. Okay. So what you do here is, what are you using, 36?
36, yeah.
Okay. 36. 7 right there.
Now in the video, the 7-minute video, you clamped below the core.
Mm-hmm.
But then I watched a video by Rambo, Rambo and
Yeah.
Coils.
He clamps the actual core.
The actual core, yeah. So you think clamping the below the core is better, or does it make a difference?
I don't think it makes a difference. I don't know, because there's 2 ways to look at this too. I don't know, because that also might be making his wire tighter on there, which might be a good thing.
Yeah.
It might be actually tightening, really cranking down on that core and tightening that wire. So it might be a good thing. I don't like doing that because I feel like if there's something on that spacing, it's doing exactly what I said in the beginning. It's touching the spacing when I don't want anything to touch the spacing once it's perfect. So
Yeah.
to me, I'd rather have it below just in case. But I mean, he's done a lot of staggers and he's damn good at it. So it's probably worth to try both. Maybe just see which one you like better. Or maybe if you have a mistake using mine, try his way. Maybe, maybe your clamps we have different clamps even. Who knows? So I'll just put this 36 on here with my hand. I'm going to zoom in now so you can see exactly what I'm doing here. It's going to be a little hard to show you with my hands, the second step to this, but this part should not be bad. Let's see. Okay. So I got the 36 started on there. I can just start it with my hand. And you can start it tight if you want. And then I'll just put a little angle in this 36 so that it spaces it. Like that. I'll just do like 5 of these space wraps. You don't want the space too big, but also, it doesn't have to be perfect. You see why. This spool now stays on this, and I'm an idiot because I'm cutting a piece of 36. Okay, so I should have cut a piece of 36 off of this wire before I did this. I basically just went and got some Canthol 36. The mess is here. I'm going to take about 6 inches of this wire and cut off. Oh, okay. So you got this space here. I actually need this. Now this is a tip that was given to me with pitchforks that I do really like this tip. You don't want big spaces in a staggered fuse Clapton, right? You don't really want small spaces either, but small spaces are going to be way better than big spaces. So I'm taking this 36 and I'm going to give it a little stretch. This is Canthol, just a little stretch. That's going to make the wire a teeny bit thinner. Very small amount thinner, but it will make a difference when fusing. It'll make your fuses look a little tighter because the spaces were smaller than 36 and you're putting 36 in there. Once again, this is if you want to save wire, you don't want to use a method that you throw away wire.
Yeah.
Basically, if you're making a bunch of that practice. Okay, so I got the 5-inch piece of what you call it. 36. Come over here. I'm going to take that 36-inch and I'm going to start from the swivel side, I call it. So the swivel's on this side, the drill's on this side, swivel side, drill side. Swivel side, I start and I put this 36 right next to it on the swivel side of the last fuse. And then the same rotation clockwise, I'm going to go into the first gap and bring it around. Now this is where it gets hard on camera. My fingers are going to get it into that first gap. Bring it down. And I'm going to put it into the second gap behind it. Now for the most part, if your spacing's pretty tight, this is just going to follow the pattern of the first wire. But you do have to be careful because you could also go over. And I do this 3 times behind. So 1 in front, 3 behind. You can do 2 behind, you can even do 1 behind. I think the more loops you have behind, the better you're going to be off. So once I do 3 loops there, I'll take this fingernail and push them all together. That. So now I got 3 wires coming down. The fuse wire that's attached to the spool, and then the 2 loop wires here. I'll take one of these clips or a clip like this. You don't want it to be too heavy because the heaviness will pull on the wire and eventually mess up the spacing, especially in the middle of the wire where you don't want to. So then I'll take one of these wooden clips, bring all these wires together, pull down tight, and clip all 3 of these wires with this little wooden clip or whatever clip you've got that's kind of similar to this. Now what he's saying Dwayne Rambo does, which a couple people do, is they'll literally just clip the wire right here. And that could work too. It's really just all on your personal preference. There is no really wrong way to do it, especially when you're watching 2 guys getting the same results with 2 different ways. So it's possible either way.
Whatever works, isn't it?
Yeah, whatever works for you. I mean, there's going to be a lot. I think everybody should try everything, especially if they're having problems. But if you nail it every time with a method that I didn't tell you, then you should just keep doing that method. Maybe tell me about it so I can show other people. You know? Yeah, don't forget to hit the like button, guys. And thanks for the shout outs and the Instagram and everything. Okay, so got that on there, and now it's really just holding the proper angle to get this, which is pretty much a straight angle. Straight 90-degree angle. There's my ghetto blanket over my one window. It's got holes in it and everything. I had to cover my window because the heat coming in was making the room hot even with the air conditioner going. So I just quickly put a blanket up there, cover that window, and it helped.
Yeah, I was trying that down.
That's one of my good blankets.
That down low camera isn't very good. I can't get it.
Oh, I can't. I want to see this.
What camera do you use for your down low?
For my, it's all the same webcam. It's just
Okay.
a Logitech webcam.
C920.
Yes.
Yeah.
I want to get the good DSLR, or I guess face for now, and use a camera like this one for down low. But I gotta get enough. This one has taken so much beating from this clip that I put on it that the picture quality, I don't think I can get as good as I want because it's just old.
Yeah, I have a DSLR at the minute for the FaceTime for this.
Yeah.
But for the FaceTime, but
do you have autofocus on there, or do you focus it in the beginning of the show or whatever, and it just stays there?
Autofocus, yeah.
Okay, so you could show, if you wanted to show something like an RDA close up, you would be able to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Did you stagger it already?
Yeah. Well, I've won.
Oh, jeez, I'm slow. I guess that's what happens when you're Clapton at 5,000 rotations.
That's it, yeah.
All right.
Well, I'll go back up top because that camera is not good. Transition. There we go. Right. So I have the first one done. So how much do I loosen this? Given the fact that I have this thing here, but
so you're gonna have to do another 30-inch one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would just make another one, but you would take that off in the easiest way possible, right? You don't want to touch this wire. So I leave the loop on the swivel. Can you are you able with your swivel to take the loop off the swivel?
Well, I'd have to take it off the chuck end first.
Yeah. So I would probably just cut it at the chuck without having it bounce.
Well, I don't have to cut it. I can pull it off the
you want the loop in the swivel end. You want to keep that loop there.
Yeah.
And then this end, if you have to cut it, that would be fine.
Should I loosen it? Should I loosen the stagger? No.
No,
Okay.
you don't have to. So with a loop method, it doesn't get really tight on there. It doesn't it's going to move. It's going to move for you.
See, I was loosening these like a deco for an alien. No.
Okay, if you loosen it a little bit, just but
if you're saying don't loosen it, I'm not going to loosen it. I'll just do whatever you say and I'll see how it goes.
So this is how I basically look at it.
Yeah.
I'll come down to this end and I'll just feel. Is this moving here? If you do this, can you feel the spacings moving?
The chuck end.
Yeah, only do as much as you're willing to cut off, you know?
Yeah, it's moving slightly, very slightly, yeah.
You don't have to, then don't loosen it.
Okay.
Yeah, if it was tight, I would say just do a couple rotations.
It's hard to do just a couple in this thing, as well, so you can probably do 6 or 7, yeah.
Just do 1 second.
So that might be where I was going. Boy, I wasn't consistent with them,
Yeah, I mean, it could definitely hurt the decoring thing, too.
Yeah.
I've done it. So I'm holding a pretty straight angle that goes right up into this wooden clip here. And if it's vibrating too much, I'll give it a little bit of steadiness. I mean, does your thing tighten up pretty good? It looks like it's pretty tight. You could tighten it up a lot.
I clamp it down, yeah.
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 I have a problem with it getting loose after a little bit. That's the big problem I'm having right now with this is I feel like if everything was secured to the desk and everything was nice and tight, I would have zero problems. I would just have to get used to the speed. I feel like after I do this on a 3-foot section, like right now, it's probably looser than it was when I started.
Oh, it definitely will be. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because even if you're not putting pressure, it's still pulling a bit, and it's going to stretch
Yeah.
it slightly, and that's going to loosen it a bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just for the record in chat, I just taught Nick Devine something there. Right. Right. Second decor. Or second stagger. Sorry.
See, they're always telling me to turn this drill up, and then you know I'm going to mess it up. And I'll show you on the next one this is going for the chat and stuff. And that's good. So I got this here. I'm going to pop this off. I will not reuse this loop either. That loop is trash now. I'll just get a whole brand new wire. It's already compromised with all the bends in it. It just ran up a wire at 5,000 RPM. You know, it's just I'll use another one. So, and then I'm gonna go down here, see if it's loose here. Mine's actually pretty damn tight here, and that could be because the loop is still on. So for me, I do have to do a couple rotations because I don't want it super tight here. You feel it again? Yeah, it's not moving here. Like when I put my fingers here and try to slide this, it's not moving. So then I will hold this here a little bit, put the drill in reverse, and just do a couple rotations. It's
but a very, very slight, is it? Yeah.
Just very little until I feel it kind of move here. And basically I'm doing it here because if it's loose here, it's loose the whole way. If I were to do this in the middle right now, it's probably going to move and I'm going to mess up the spacing. So I do it down, it's moving now, good. So I think what I do is I'll go down to the drill end and watch your arm doesn't hit the wire or anything. Like I don't want to just even skim past this with my hand or anything. I really just don't want to touch it.
Yeah.
Maybe a good idea, what I used to do too, is like with that loop from the swivel, I'll take a thumbtack, like you use for posters. I'll take a thumbtack, put it through the loop, and just pin it to my wooden desk here. So it's just hanging in the air, nothing's touching it. Okay, so I'm going to take this end. Up that, hold the end. Take it off the swivel with the loop. That loop off. All right. 36 nichrome. Once again, this time I'll do it the right way. Grab it with my needle noses, give it a little stretch just to make it a little smaller and make it straight. Put it all, get it in here. Make sure the drill's in forward, just like we did the first one. You can't have one forward and one reverse if it will not work. Get that started. Use my hand to put spacing in it 3 or 4 times. Space clapping there. Rough space clapping. I use this clamp to make sure that the spool doesn't. Sits in front. And once you do this a lot, you can do this movement very quickly. Should probably be easy for this. You just take my fingernail, push it all together. Nice tight Clapton. This guy. Forward, good. There. Show you what this looks like as it happens in the beginning. So right now it looks like a tight Clapton in there, but it's actually 2 wires. Not just one. Turns.
You can hear the chair, Mick, can you?
What's that?
I'm getting comments about my squeaky chair.
I don't even.
Oh.
I have a squeaky chair too, though. Maybe they're hearing mine.
Maybe, yeah. It's your fault, Mick. Nick. It's all your fault, Nick.
I could take that.
Mick in chat, I just want to say I have a new chair ordered. It's on the way.
Mm-hmm.
Right, I have the second one done, and it's. I can move it very slightly, so I'm gonna do the same as last time. I just take it off, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
You can leave that one on. You don't have to take that one off. You can leave that one on.
Okay. Clayton Von Clunge is the best name in YouTube.
If I could learn how to pronounce it, we'd be better off. But these are some of the problems I have. I suppose there's bigger problems in the world. I just messed it up. You son of a... You know, there's people that do this and just eye up the spacing. That's what Ramo to you used to do. He used to eye up spacing on a damn pitchfork.
Without glasses.
I'm pretty sure he wore glasses.
Yeah.
Like that. And the way he explained it, I mean, I've done it a couple times, but not on a pitchfork, but he would space the beginning, but then he would just look at the spacing and run his wires by holding it the proper angle. That got to make another loop because I messed this up, and it doesn't look like I messed it up to the fact where I got to start over. This is 37. Basically what I did is I like put my thumb on the spool to where it stopped a little bit and the loop kind of jumped ahead of my spool, or the spool kind of jumped ahead of the loop. And that's the issue I just did. I basically made a mistake by bumping into. Loop in the front is basically to help the loop move. That's all that's for, is to make sure that it keeps moving forward. The loops in the back are for the spacing. You need the loop in the front for sure, just as much as you need the loop in the back. But I only have 2 loops in the back now. Actually, I'm blaming that last mistake on Freddie because he did say go faster, and that's why I used it. Ready? We'll get about 2 minutes. Actually, you'll probably pull us 2 minutes. Is this moving? It is. All right. I don't have to loosen this one. Probably because I made a mistake. It's not as tight. All right. Oh, I probably should have mentioned this. Okay. I should have mentioned this. It won't be a make or break for you anyway, but you do want some naked wire at the end of where your swivel is. You do want to have a little bit of naked wire that's not staggered. You know what I mean?
I have like an inch.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, just so in case it is moving, the spaces are moving.
Yeah.
That you, you know, it's got room to move down to the end. Okay, so now we got both. The one stays on there, and then we have to get the other one onto this chuck. I guess you got to undo it no matter what, huh? You got to undo your drill no matter what.
I'd say so.
I do too, actually.
Yeah. We're the same boat.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I need to take the wee loop, the little loop that was on the swivel end.
That's probably going to go right back on the swivel.
And then adjust it.
I'm trying to think of how to explain this to you with your setup too.
Yeah.
Because also when I do these, I don't really do long ones like this or the one. I will let float in the air, but we can't do that with these drills. We got to actually, you know, secure the end so we're not smacking ourselves in the face or messing up the wire. Yeah, it's definitely rougher at high speeds, but it's possible. So I'm going to cut this off the drill. I'm going to get the first one, put these 2 ends together. Now you can get your glasses. Some people do this. I usually just go off of luck. But you can line up your spaces right now with these. You don't want to be touching it too much. I got to take my headphones off so I won't hear you for a second.
Yeah, no problem.
So if I have a piece of 36 sitting here, or 38 or 40, whatever, I'm going to get that ready. I'm going to look at these 2 wires where the spacing's good. It's very hard to line this up even if you can see it. So this step I've never really done, but some people do it. And I'm going to wrap these 2 ends together. 38, 40, or 36, whatever you got there. You probably got 36 there since we were just using it. And then, oh, where's this thing? sure that Chuck is grabbing both in the pretty center. Pull. Now, if you do both the same, you probably could put both these loops on the swivel. I don't know how closely mine are the same. They're usually never the same. But I suppose if you did them all exactly, you could do this. Or you can put it on the swivel first and cut the longest one to the shortest one's length. I don't know if that makes sense to you.
Just looking at mine together, and it looks like the first 4 or 5 inches, there's a difference in the gaps.
Yeah, so if you could see it with your naked eye, there
Yeah.
probably is a difference.
And once it gets past about 4 inches, it looks pretty good after that. I think. Yeah, I don't know.
Is it, well, I guess that wouldn't be, it looks good down here though.
From about here, I'd say,
Yeah.
onwards, I think.
So, I mean, I would want to be positive that it's bad. You know, you really want to, like, because if you really don't want to mess up. If one's perfect, right, you don't want to mess up that one wire because the other one's not perfect, right? So you you would probably rather. I'm not saying do this now, but I would probably just take the one that I think's bigger off and put that to the side and try to make another one. If you're doing this every day and you need this wire. I wouldn't worry about it so much right now, but it also might not be a bad idea if you just start from where you know it's good. Because if you start and the wire's bad, you are going to mess up the entire wire. This is actually like, this wire has to go into this space, and if you go into a space that's off, a spacing that's too big, you will have to angle it the entire way, and you will see it in a picture or whatever. But I do actually have these same size. They are both on the swivel. I don't usually like doing this too much, but for a 2-core stagger fuse Clapton, this should be fine. And I'm not going to be spinning this very quickly. I mean, I really want to have it spinning as slow as I possibly.
Yeah, I think there's like a discrepancy between both nearly the whole way down now that I look at it.
Okay, so if it's the whole way down, this is what probably could have happened. I can tell you what probably happened because I do this all the time. When I'm doing that loop method in the beginning, sometimes I'll put 2 wraps into one space. So I'm actually getting a double space down the entire wire.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I didn't go every other one on the one. I actually put 2 wires in between the 2 fuses. So what I have here, I would say it's probably the bigger one that's wrong. That's probably what's going on, is the bigger one's the wrong one.
I'll see, can I get my camera out? I'll see.
Yeah, see if we can set it up. I'll set this up right here, see if I could get it. I'm pretty sure mine's all right. I'm pretty sure. But sometimes you look at it, it looks good, and it isn't. I keep hide stuff on myself all the time. There it is. This is kind of what you want to see. Just both of them looking. When there's one not right, you will see it. Like when they're next to each other, it will be obvious to you that something just doesn't look right. When they're correct, it's not easy to see, but what I'm seeing here now, I do like, and I will look down the entire wire too. Now, camera's not the best way to look at it either, because there's curves that are going on with the camera that can make things look bad. Like right now, right here looks like it's bigger spacing than back here. But that's just because of the curve of the lens and stuff that's going on.
Can you see mine there, no?
Let me put on, I gotta go to whatchamacallit, to YouTube real quick. I will be able to do this. So. Yes. Okay. Yeah. It does. It looks like it's almost double spaced. It does.
Yeah, yeah.
The one wire looks a little double spaced. Or it could also just be the angle you were holding on. Sometimes maybe because of the speed, you're trying to play catch up and you're
maybe
going quicker.
Yeah.
It could be. The speed is going to be. It's definitely going to be a learning curve.
Yeah.
In addition to learning stack, the top one looks good though. The top one looks like it's pretty much there.
So the one that the top one is tighter, is it? The tighter one.
There is a little cheat sheet you can do here if you want it.
Yeah.
And we could try it out, and you would probably be successful. What I've done before with something like that is, let me get my zoom back there. The bigger one, right? The bigger one, the spaces are too big, and it is loose. So I will literally take, you can't see me, I'm like using my hands. I'll take the bigger one all the way at the end of the swivel, and I will literally crunch that closed all the way. Like just the second one, you got to make sure it doesn't grab onto the other one too.
Yeah,
you don't want to mess that one up. But I'll crunch that down. So then actually what we're doing is going to be force fusing one and regular fusing the other. And that's kind of like what I was talking about earlier, that like some people will just literally force fuse a 2-core stagger fuse Clapton, which is also possible. It just, there's room for a lot of mistakes when you do it. But I've done this before and it's been easier than doing the other way. So I'm gonna get my 36 ready. I do want to try to do this. Because sometimes I'll like think that I'm good and I'll sit here with somebody. They're like, you got it? I'm like, yeah, actually, well, that kind of worked out. I'm like, all right, let me just fuse mine up, and mine goes to shit. Mine was the one that was messed up more. The spacing's key. The spacing and prep with these builds is the key.
Yeah, I'll give it a go. I'm not optimistic.
Did you crunch it all the way?
Yeah.
You're gonna have to put a little more pressure than you would have originally just to get into that gap.
Yeah.
I would try to start slow and then build up your speed, but it should do it. It really just depends on how quick that freaking drill is at slow. Let's put it this way: with your setup, I don't even think I'd be able to do it. It's too advanced for me, I think. Too speed. Oh, you gotta go. Okay, you could get it to go a little slow.
Yeah, I can adjust it a little bit. Yeah.
Okay. And I guess you could also use your finger to slow it down too, huh?
The thing I really like about the foot pedal is the fact that if I'm doing a D-core, just say I'm doing like a 30-inch D-core, I can actually touch the wire behind the left hand and steady it the whole way. So even if my swivels are going bad and I need to replace my swivels and there's a bit of vibration, I can just have my index finger on my free hand to steady it the whole way down. So it's perfectly still the whole way down.
Free up a hand, that's all.
Yeah. It's useful
really
that way.
That's what I do with micro claps. I'll just put it on one speed and I got two hands. If I gotta hold this steady while I'm holding the spool, I could do that. Literally stick the 36 in between these two here. A couple hand spins. And I do want to kind of bring these together a little bit. Not really worried about the spacing right now. I'm just trying to get the meat, but it's kind of going in there. We're good. And I want to get a nice angle on this. Now I can't do the below above thing with the camera here, like I was talking about, but it's the better way to do it that way. I'm gonna pop my headphones off for a minute just while I do this.
Yeah, no problem.
Got a couple mistakes here. It's probably just my angle I'm holding this spool at. Maybe a little slower when I start, I should be.
This is
not
going well,
here.
Nick.
Those are my mistakes completely, I think. I don't think that's a spacing issue right now.
Yeah, this is not going to work. No, the spacing was too bad from the start, definitely. I think if you can nearly see it with the naked eye, it's that bad. It's going to be hard for it to go right, you know.
They're rough. Staggers are rough to get with. Not a... Yeah, I don't think the speed. You do want to start off straight too. If you start off on an angle, you're going to screw yourself in the long run. Let me do this real quick. I'm going to get these back to close. I got to get a good couple inches on this to get my. So this is what I was told. Do lower spool. Up. Doing it by hand. Do this thing perfectly all the way down, try with zero mistakes, just like this, just running my finger and making it turn like this. But obviously that's not like, efficient. You have to fold a bunch of them. You know what? I'm holding a little bit of tension on this, to tell you the truth, especially with the speed. Yeah, a little more than I imagined. It's a little bit of tension I'm doing right here. But I did get a really good amount right here. It's no mistakes. Let me do a little more and I'll go back close up. And also, you could always reverse these and fix them. You don't want to do it too much. Once or twice reversing. Ooh, this is the part I think I missed.
Yeah, that was a fail.
Pick up speed, because doing these quick will. Alright, that made a mistake. I'll go back. Okay, these are grabbing on each other.
Yeah.
That's what's going on. These are grabbing on each other. This isn't, man, yeah, the long ones are going to be rough, man.
What's your standard? What's your standard? Just like a 8 inches, 9 inches for two coils.
Yeah, 8 inches per coil. I mean, this is definitely possible. I guess what I would, it's a fast drill, really. Me setting up a fast drill right now for me, because I could usually have a slower drill and I can control the speed at what this is going. If these two are touching each other, I could show you. They're interlocking with each other, these spacings.
Yeah.
Okay, the 36 is going like this to each other.
Yeah.
So when I fuse one end, this is pushing up, and it's making these push up too, which is just creating a bigger space down here. So this is why I don't really like doing this on the end of the swivel. I don't really like connecting both of these. I need one of these to be free. I usually do the smaller one, but I'm actually just going to cut that one right now. Usually I'll have it on a slower drill, and I'll just use one of these clamps to hold it on there, or you could wrap it with wire, but it's got to be a little loose. So it's just free floating right now. Now I can't do this at fast speeds this way, and it's also possible that my spacing is completely screwed because of what I did before.
Yeah.
Right now it looks okay, but it was going fine. Then all of a sudden my spacings were starting to mess up, and I looked at it, and it was interlocking each other.
I think
pushing each other up. I
think for myself, I think I might need to start just doing short runs and just slowly extend the run out. You know.
So you could see they're not really interlocked now. That's probably because they might have sprung back. That actually the spacing don't look so bad right now. But if these are closer, they're going to just want to go into each other. That's just what it is. They just want to. And this is something that will mess up your spacing. So I like to keep them a little separate. And I'm going to see if maybe if I could fix this just by doing that. I mean, another good thing about doing 30 inches is like, I'm still definitely going to get a set out of this.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to get more than a set out of this. I already got, I think, 2 coils. And if it messes up at every 4 inches, that's okay too. Like if this is messed up here, but I get another 4 inches good, we don't even care about the mistake. We can cut that off.
Yeah, that could be the start of your alien or whatever.
Yeah. This. Sort my hand real quick, make sure my spacing is pretty good. I'm going to do this a little slower speed, but I am going to turn. I'm holding the spool pretty far away from myself. Now, these 2 cores are going to twist up, and that's not a good thing. Get that out there.
See, Clayton is saying that staggered fuse Clapton is a harder build for him than a staple staggered fuse Clapton or staggered.
And so
that's
that could be very true.
Because of the grabbing. They're grabbing each other.
Yes, that's right. Like when you put ribbons in between, this problem doesn't happen. But I mean, it's still an easy build. I don't want to give it too much power. It is still an easy build. Fusing it, yes. At the end of the day, the staple stagger fuse Clapton is a harder build. They're just good at, Clayton's good at putting ribbon in between. Remember, that putting the ribbon in between it was actually hard at some point. Yeah, my spacing is actually permanently messed up. So I'm going to show you what I was kind of telling you. that you tried and it doesn't always work. It might not even work for me. I see which one has the bigger spacing, so I'm looking at these two, and I could see the bottom one has bigger spacing. I can see it. It's very slight, but
Yeah,
it's bigger spacing.
it looks
And
similar to mine. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So
Maybe not as bad as mine, but yeah.
A little spacing or big spacing, it doesn't matter. It will actually mess up regardless of how bad the space. If it's just a little off, it's going to mess it up. So this bottom one, I want to guide this back to where I am over here. This is the tight one. All right, that's the tight one. That's the one on the swivel. So I'm going to go back to the swivel. Literally take the, and of course it's this one. I need to cut 36 real quick, so it's loose. Kept going with this one right onto the thing. Okay, I loosened it up. Now I'm going to take this one, keep this one away because you don't want to mess up this spacing, and I'm going to crunch it all the way back. Literally all the way back until it's a tight Clapton. Put this one back, put this on, and I'm going to show you what this looks like in the camera. And for the most part, this usually works. It's not the way I would set up to do every one of these, but you see the tight Clapton and the space Clapton.
So you're force fusing the second one.
So this is also doing something else too. There's no spaces for the space one to go in the bottom. Like the top one can't go into the bottom one.
Yeah.
Because there's no spaces for it to go in. It's just a flat wire.
Has anyone ever thought of doing that from the start?
I've done these, yeah. So like the first staggered,
like do like a Clapton, loosen the Clapton, do one staggered side,
you
and
could
then
do
force
both
fuse
of them
one
tight.
side.
Yeah, you could do both of them tight. It was actually like the first ones that I made, I could only make by forcing both of them.
Yeah.
So this is like, I would actually seriously consider this for building for you because
of
you
the
have
long runs.
speed.
Yeah,
you have speed. So it's, I would definitely consider in just making 2 Claptons that are loose all the way down, not too loose, and actually try to force fuse them because
Just say I do a half a run of Clapton on both sides.
Exactly.
And then I stretch. Would I stretch them or no?
No. So
No.
I would just take your 30-inch piece, Clapton it down, a tight Clapton 15 inches. Make sure it's loose down. Make sure it's a kind of loose, just loose enough to move.
Same as a depot. Yeah.
Yeah, and do 2 of them, and put them in the drill, and you're going to need a lot of force, especially if you're doing a 30-inch one. You need a lot more force because you're pushing more Clapton.
Yeah.
If it's an 8-inch one, you're only pushing 8 inches of Clapton. A 30-inch one, you're pushing 30 inches of Clapton.
But I could start at 8 inches and sort of work my way up to and see where I get to.
I mean, that's another way you could do it too. So I do think that is an option for you. That actually might work out better than this. Just with your equipment and how fast that you're able to do them. Speed for force fuse ones is good. And I can show you why right now. I'm doing this with my finger right now. So because I'm doing it with my finger, I don't really have that force really going because I'm just pushing the drill forward. But I got to get into this next gap. And the only way to get into this next gap is with some force.
Or as like Grim Green says, keep hydrated.
Yeah. So it doesn't really want to go in there until I pull it.
Yeah.
To go in there. And I got to open this close myself actually. I mean, I've done this, fixing this mistake with even like staple staggered fuse Clapton, pushing the one side all the way down, and it's worked. By this ink. Tighten up my core. 30's a lot to be pushing it. Now, of course, I got to put into this for it to happen. It's quite a bit. Yeah, I mean, I'm really pulling this back. Yeesh. Go way out. Where's my drill? I tell you, building with headphones is definitely a different experience, man.
Yeah.
When I was on, I don't know if I've done this really. I feel like I should know that I've done building with headphones before. I guess I hadn't until I started playing these video games.
One of the reasons I'm trying to avoid using a drill as well is because my 5-year-old daughter's bedroom is like right upstairs.
Yeah, and it's it's so much quieter.
Yeah, this thing barely makes noise at all, you know.
Yeah.
And I generally build at evening time, so like after the kids go to bed, I'll spend a few hours building. And, yeah, I'm sure she'd be up.
Yeah,
I mean that's noise, you know?
Nighttime's the time for building, especially when you're dad.
I'll spend a few days trying that the Clapton method, like half, and then force fusing, and see how we get on for sure.
So this is the issue I'm having right now. Now that I cut it off and the one's loose, I can't have that. I need to go fast. If I go fast, it's going to smack me in the face. So I need to secure this now. It's like I'm doing two different things. I prepped for two different things, but now they're not coinciding.
Yeah.
So I got to actually like wrap this end up to make sure it doesn't smack me in the face when I go faster. You could even hot glue them, whatever. But if you know what the build you're doing, the way you're going to do it, this wouldn't be a problem. It's only because I'm trying two different ways. That. It does look like it's starting to get there. And look, I'm holding the, it's like going better for me. I'm holding the spool down straight. I'm not looking at it down. Looking at it straight forward, but this actually, I feel good about going close up here. So I did space the tight one out a little. I just pulled back just a little bit. So this is fully crunched, and then I just pull it back just a little bit. It's still smaller than the other one. I basically just let it bounce back the way it wants to. So the one's tight, the one's open. Dusting.
There we go.
That's really all it is. Sometimes it's just a little bit more patience than normal. Because it gets frustrating when you're trying all these new things and it's not working. It's easy to get angry. Sometimes you just gotta step back and be like, hey, it's only a staggered piece of chill out. I do get aggravated. I'm just getting aggravated with this wire a little bit ago. tell myself in my head, does Spire know who the fuck I am? It's doing this to me.
I'm Nick the fucking Vine.
All right. They must have missed the company memo this week. I feel good about this one now, though. Now that I see it's moving, and I see that I'm getting some success.
Yeah.
It is like some of this is just building up your confidence. Just even just simple stuff. I feel a lot better getting 3 inches done than getting no inches done, which tells me that this is possible. A couple minutes ago, I was almost like, this might not be possible to save. Now that I got some. Get a little more. I'm gonna really press down on this little thing.
A lot of it as well is like you're obviously a very good builder and you know your stuff. So a lot of it is like you come up against a mistake. This is how we fix it. If this doesn't work, I'll try this, and then you can try 3 different things, and then eventually you get it.
Yeah. There is a lot of things you could fix. I mean, there's lots of mistakes. I mean, aliens are hard to fix. There ain't really. It's like there's no turning back really. Staggers are a little more forgiving.
You have a few more options.
Yeah. Mistakes are in here now, and that might just be because this is why I know exactly why. Sometimes it's just because I haven't done this in a while, I forget this stuff. Because I know exactly what's happening now that I say it. It was going good, and then I started getting mistakes. Something wasn't moving, the spacing wasn't moving. And I'm starting to get this mistake where it doesn't matter how hard I pull on it, it's not going into there. It doesn't matter how hard I pull, it's not going in. So the reason this is happening is because as I'm spinning this, these are twisting. It's just the nature of this coil just likes to twist.
Yeah.
So I now have to take this clip off again, unseparate them, untwist them, so that they're not grabbing on each other and messing each other up. Kind of just gotta separate them and stop them from fighting each other, really. Break it up, boys. Wrap this wire.
That's what I'm saying. Mick from the Late Night Vape Show's airing his money tonight. He's throwing those links in.
What's he doing?
He's throwing links in left, right, and centre.
What time do they go?
They'll be on tomorrow night at 10:30.
What's that?
Mick, Bill, and Disco. 10:30 my time.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
First at 5:30 for you guys. Is that right? Yeah.
So I separated them. They were twisted. I untwisted them. So let's see if this. Why is this tricky? Let's see if this works. I'm not even going to go backwards to try to fix these mistakes. I'm just going to see if this works now. Pull the drill back tight or clamp it down. Right now that wire is free to move. I don't want that all the time. Can't go fast when you're doing that.
Are you going again, McGrim, this week?
I believe so.
Yeah.
I had to ask, but I'm pretty sure.
Good.
From what we left it last week, yes. I'm down. I'm not. Nothing's popped up for Monday. I'm not. I'm 100%. Yeah, this ain't going on there. Big spacing of this. Yeah, I just relieved some tension from the crushed Clapton that I had. The one that I pushed back together. Need a little tension. This looks more dangerous than it is. That thing is going. This is going good right now. I'm not going to stop. I'm just going to keep going. Up the speed even. Going really good. Probably the longest amount I've got today. Still going good, no mistakes. Oh! That's good though. All right. I mean, that was a coil. That's good. And it was just my angle because I wasn't square with the wire. My nose wasn't square with what I'm doing. Take these headphones off.
Do you find certain wires easier to stagger than others, or is it all the same, like Cantal or Nichrome or? He's muted.
Through it now with all that frustrating stuff going on here. I'm pretty sure I still got 5 clean coils. In my count, it might be 4. I need to untwist this. I'm holding this end, put my drill in reverse, pull in tight away from the drill with the needle noses, and untwisting. There's still going to be twisting this later, but we're getting out most of them right here. A lot better already. This off. Cut this off. Good moves. And then I'm just gonna cut all the bad stuff off. Just keep the good stuff right here. So I got this one. I should get my glasses on first. Got this one. The mistakes. I can leave a couple mistakes in there for a lead, but I'm going to cut off the majority of the mistakes. Go all the way until there's no mistakes. I'm going to show you all these guys. Right here, this will be good. And this is a bunch of mistakes, throw them out. Middle. Middle. It's pretty damn near in the middle. There's 2. I think I got 3 out of this one. Right. And 6.5. Okay, I'm gonna wrap them up and show you.
I'm going to do that force fuse method just quickly.
Yeah, I think
I'll give it one go.
Oh, you know what else it would be good to try too? Do half stags. Try just staggering one wire and doing one naked wire, or force fusing one with a naked wire. Just a half stagger fuse Clapton will also get you down to get your spacing good and your angle for your fusing good. It's kind of like the two core alien trick for aliens. Let's get rid of one of the problems we're having and just practice the one thing first. Baby steps, you know. Okay, and if there's still twists in these, I'll take 2 sets of nylon pliers and do the alligator walk up it. Just hold it here. Twist. Twist. Okay. All right, let's see. 3mm. Oh yeah, anybody here from my channel that needs coils in the UK, I mean, here you go. There it is. Drop the coils right here.
Just no stagger fuse Claptons yet. Aliens are no problem.
That's the important. The alien ones are there. I just think there are people. More people want aliens. Honestly, they're just a better bait.
Yeah, definitely.
So it's actually good. Or rather, you know, that you're able to do something. But your problem isn't doing stagger builds. It's you could do like if you wanted to do a stagger build for just an Instagram post, you'd be fine because you make a mistake, you start over again. You want to be able to make them all the time. Just be able to pump them out. Were you really good at aliens before you started selling them?
Yeah, I did them pretty good. Now, it was interesting to listen to you tell Twisted Messes and Grim that it took you 6 months to get them perfect.
Yeah.
Because it took me 6 months to get them perfect. So I was like, oh,
yeah,
I'm the same.
That it's a very big misconception that people get. Like when people say like, "Oh, you make it look easy and stuff," it's like, nah, you didn't see before.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
you didn't see before. Like I'm watching Grim Green do it, and he's only doing a cut, and he's making very good progress. Probably better than what I was doing, to be honest. But he has the tools to do it now. I didn't really have the tools to do it at the moment, like the swivels and stuff. But it was rough. And really, stagger fuse Claptons are up there too, and wrapping staples. It didn't take me months like that, but I mean, it's rough. It takes time. It is really practice. All right, here's my coils. Huh? I'm still on live. That's what there is. Oh, he can come in. Boys only. Oh, come on. Oh, he's scared of thunder. Going on in the back, bud? It's alright, bud. Damn, he's jumping. Now, serious question. This might sound, it might sound not like the best question, but have you ever thought about maybe teaming up with another coil builder that is really good at staggered fuse Claptons? Like in the UK? I don't know who it would be. It's an idea though. The way I see, I don't know how. I mean, the UK, these guys are good, but I imagine that companies teaming up in the US is probably going to be a better thing. I think that the small business model that most big companies have is probably not going to be the best for the majority of them. Some of them are going to be very good and succeed in that, but I don't know. I don't know. Stagger fuse Claptons, like basic stagger fuse Claptons right now, Ken. What basically, what John's looking for is he sells aliens. He can make a lot of aliens. He can make stagger fuse Claptons, but he wants to be, he wants to be productive with them, like be able to sit down and do them without making too many mistakes, wasting too much money on wire, and just, just a couple tips there for that. Yeah, I did see Kent in the beginning. I
yeah, basically, I'd like if I do a 30-inch run of aliens, like 9 times out of 10, it's like no issues. Yeah, the very odd time you'll get something, or as you said, like in a 30-inch run, you might get one little bad jinky bit, but that's going to be the start of a coil, so you don't care.
Yeah.
But otherwise, it's perfect. Frame staples, perfect. For aliens, perfect. Obviously, Claptons, fuse Claptons, perfect. So the next step, obviously, is to stock like staggered variations on the website. But I'm not like I've done it. Obviously, I've done 3 cores, I've done 2 cores, but it's like, just say I want to get 4 sets or 3 sets of these. It'll be the whole evening trying to get perfect spacing, and it'll take a go. I'll have to repeatedly do it until I get it. And that's obviously not doable if you have them on the website. Like, so, I need to be just consistent with them.
I'll tell you, when I did sell coils, the only 2 staggers I would sell was stagger fuse Claptons and 3-core stagger fuse Claptons. Staple stagger fuse Claptons to me is a custom build, and people have to pay for it. Like they have to pay for it. And if you are, it may not seem right to you, but maybe your stagger fuse Claptons should be priced more than the aliens. Just to if they're harder to do, it takes you more time. That's just how I look at it. I'll pretty much price my coils based on what time it takes, the material, all that stuff. So it might be a more expensive coil on the site. Yeah. You never know. I mean, maybe you get really good at it and it's not. But
I will, Nick.
Yeah.
But it is just like, it's just like finding the method that you use that works for you, and someone else, as you said, like Rambo will do something different to you.
Yeah.
But both methods will work for both of you. But I don't think there's any coil builders in here that do everything the same for every coil. We all have our little things we do,
Yeah. I mean, there's always times in the chat somebody would be like Clayton has done it a couple times, especially with the pitchforks. He'd be like, just don't secure the other frame to the build, just have it floating. Or he would say stretch your 40 gauge out a little bit so it's a little skinnier, so that when you put the second one in there, and there's always tips. I'm still a student to this stuff too, We all are. Everybody still is learning. Hobby's only 7 years old or something like that.
Yeah, the force fusing, there was spots that were better. There was the clean spots, and then there was I'll keep trying it. Yeah.
Which one was more successful? That one or the one?
The force fuse.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that might be the way.
There was a couple of inches there, and that were good. So yeah. I think coil building is a bit like jiu-jitsu. You're going to get your ass kicked for a long time, and eventually you're going to get good at it. and then you start kicking ass yourself. It's like,
yeah, I never understood what people said by. Did you ever hear the term? He's in his 10 year. It's a term that's used a lot here. I hear it a lot like with comedians. Like they don't get good until 10 years. And most people and just about everything won't get good. Like carpentry, I probably wasn't even good at it until 10 years in.
Yeah.
Anything, and there is nobody in the world that has 10 years experience in coil building.
Well, I know myself that I haven't put setting up the website. I think has taken up a lot of time making the 3-core aliens, making the series aliens, the mount-to-lug aliens, the frame staples, and then now the aliens. They've all taken a lot of time. Like I've been coil building for 5 years, but like I can do them like with my eyes closed now, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't given this enough time. I haven't given staggered stuff enough time.
Yeah.
Like so, I'm just gonna have to give it more time, and that's it. Like
that's probably that's probably what it is.
Because I don't need to give aliens time now because I could just make them to Oro and then bang, spend the rest of my spare time just doing staggered builds, you know. Yeah. No, it was good to pick your brain anyway. Just tips.
So when you do this, do you do like one day all aliens or one day all decors or one day all for aliens or
if I have I get orders like daily every day. But if I just say I have a quiet day where I've only got a couple of small orders, I'll make bags of decors, like so bags of 36 decors and
just a day of just making decors basically.
Yeah, I'll make like fucking 10 to 15 36 gauge like 32 inch 36 gauge decors and bag those and then bag 38 and then go to bed, and then you can bang out a lot of aliens if you've got your decors done already. Especially when you're doing these long runs, you can bang out a lot of them, you know.
So let me answer Kent's question. So the force fuse, yes, that it would, the one that you and Grim Green did. What I'm basically saying is, he needs 30 inches. He needs to do 30 inches. So he gets his 30-inch wire onto his swivel, and then he's just going to Clapton 15 inches of it. Take that off, get another run, 30-inch, only Clapton 15. And literally force your fuse into both of them. Force your fuse into. You're not taking any wires off, basically. You're forcing your entire stagger fuse Clapton. Instead of forcing it just for the space, you're forcing both them wires together. It's an option, and the reason why I think that's an option for him is because of how fast his drill is. He's using a drill that's very fast for his aliens and stuff, and he's very good at fast.
Kent has the same one.
Yeah.
I know he uses both, like, but...
Yeah, he probably uses that. For, actually, Kent, do you use your fast lathe drill for sanding, or do you use like your Ryobi or whatever for your sanding? I always wondered that. You use the fast one or the hand drill or the battery drill. I guess with the micro Claptons you're using the fast.
Twisted messes.
It's so long, it's already on there. Why would you take it off? And how would you take it off? Yeah. Micro Claptons you probably use the fast.
When I eventually get the staggered fuse Claptons on the website, I'll tag you in a few posts.
Yeah.
Yeah. I see like some coil builders who have websites and have like staple staggered fuse Claptons, and they sell them the same price as aliens, and I'd be like, I honestly don't know how they can make them quick enough or consistently enough. I don't know how. I don't know if I could see myself doing that, you know.
I mean, how many people do we actually know that make a whole bunch of stagger fuse Claptons anyway, right?
Yeah.
It's usually when you see that, you see aliens. Like if you see a big bag of something, it's aliens. It's not usually stagger fuse Claptons.
Because it'll take you a lot longer, I presume, to do a staple stagger fuse Clapton.
I've seen it, but it's not. Maybe once I've seen it. A bag of stagger fuse Claptons. It's usually always like aliens or fuse Claptons, you know.
Yeah.
And there's that's the reason for it. It just takes a little more time. Yeah, I'm good with Wire Talk with Big G doing music stuff from now on, Benny. be nice to see you building and stuff, but you should sing metal and draw at the same time. That's what you should do. That's my suggestion. Actually, you know what? No, you coil build, you sing heavy metal, and you draw all at the same time, and that YouTube channel will grow bigger than it is now.
I think we'll wrap it up, Nicola. We're
Yeah.
going for about 2 hours, eh?
Yeah.
Thanks very much for coming on. It was great to have you.
Oh no, thanks for having me on. It was fun. And
It was,
if you want to do it again, if
yeah,
you
we'll
want
do
to
it.
actually, I'm thinking about starting to do like a show where I either bring people on. I'd probably rather just do one person at a time though,
Yeah.
or if you want to dual stream next weekend, if you want to do both channels at the same time, you would have to do nothing else. I would just have to set up my channel and go live.
And yours?
Yeah, so we would be live on both.
Yeah, sure, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anytime, yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Picking your brain is good. It's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like.
I enjoy it. I learned stuff out of this too. I mean, I figured some stuff out myself here.
Everyone in chat, thanks for coming in.
Yeah.
The chat was going all, even when we were quiet and we were building these, we were going flat out talking.
And that
so-
matters. Yeah.
Yeah,
That chat
definitely.
movement always matters.
Yeah.
I don't know if people understand how much I appreciate that during the show, but when a chat's moving, that's when YouTube starts putting you in the algorithm. Like this chat, like this channel is moving while it's live. Even.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
Some channels are just like nobody's talking, or
Yeah.
it takes a while to get people, but it matters. It really does. That the chat is always moving.
Even when I've done my previous lives, like there's obviously going to be dead space every so often because you're trying to do something or whatever. But it's nice to see everyone chatting away. It's good.
Yeah.
So thanks everybody for coming out.
Absolutely.
And yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Well, thanks for having me on, and enjoy the rest of your
No
weekend.
problem. I will